What's going on, my people? Hello and welcome to another Chelsea news daily video for you guys, where I keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea transfer news and some big updates. This is going to be it's going to be a tasty news daily. We'll be delving into Erling Haaland reports and links. Massive update on the Patreon, especially a specific source close to Chelsea that's actually quite credible and reliable has released some information in regards to Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland has agreed personal terms. Massive breaking news in terms of that. We'll be speaking about Jude Bellingham as well. There's some interesting news in regards to him. Also, James Maddison and Hakim Ziyech. Interesting reports and stories in regards to them as well. But before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I'll also be finishing it off with going over Chelsea's fixture list today. Early this morning, the Premier League officially announced all the club's upcoming fixtures for the 2021/22 season. And there's some juicy fixtures, a very hard running, but we'll be delving into that towards the end of the video. Without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily, and starting off with the biggest reports, the breaking news. Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Erling Haaland. Yes, it's confirmed by reliable reports now. Ex-West Ham employee. He's a Twitter account, official Twitter account. He used to be an employee of West Ham, of course, that's in his name, but he has really close relationships and links with Chelsea. Now, some of you may be thinking, an ex-West Ham employee, how is that linked to Chelsea at all? Now, basically, he has got some close connections and close contacts with inside of Chelsea Football Club, and he's got some credibility and he's got some evidence to back this up. Back in the summer window, if you cast your minds back, he broke the Edouard Mendy and the Ben Chilwell news early, and he's been pretty much consistent when it comes to Chelsea news. He's been reliable, he's been consistent. He hasn't put a foot wrong when it comes to Chelsea news. So there's every reason for us to believe that he is tier one, that he's actually got close connections, and he's confirmed that we have provisionally agreed terms. Of course, other reports, Nizar Kinsella, who writes for goal.com. You then got Liam Toomey as well. He went on a live stream for Matisse. If you guys don't know, MAH, he went on a live stream with Liam Toomey. And he confirmed there as well, Chelsea have essentially agreed personal terms with Erling Haaland. So, as I said, it's massive news. All the top journalists, all the reliable reporters are breaking that Chelsea have officially agreed personal terms with Borussia Dortmund and, of course, Erling Haaland. Now, that's part one. And it's not easy, but it's the easier side, because now part two, which is the most difficult side, and that is directly negotiating with Borussia Dortmund to secure Erling Haaland. Now, to give you guys some insight and to give you guys a new perspective in terms of Erling Haaland. Now, this news may excite you, and it has certainly excited me. And listen, let's be honest now, this is exciting news. This is massive news. Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Haaland. It means that Haaland wants to come to Chelsea, and he's officially agreed personal terms in terms of wages, in terms of coming to London, playing for Chelsea. The project that we have proposed to him, he's satisfied with that. So it's massive news. Generational talent like Haaland being satisfied with Chelsea, it's massive. We are a top club. Now, in terms of what this means for negotiations, it's not going to be as easy as you think. Now, let's put it from this point of view. Let's look at it from this perspective. Borussia Dortmund are already planning life without Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is on the verge of leaving. I've already mentioned this before in past videos. Jadon Sancho is on the verge of leaving Borussia Dortmund. He will most likely sign for Manchester United. That is pretty much done, and Borussia Dortmund are already preparing life without Jadon Sancho. However, they are still preparing life for Erling Haaland next season. They are adamant and they are reluctant. This is not just hardball. This is not just to get Chelsea to pay up more. They genuinely want to keep Haaland for next season. That's why it's going to be so difficult to negotiate with Dortmund, because we're going to have to input a crazy fee. And this is why I think things are going to get very difficult. As I keep stressing, Dortmund, they're reluctant. Now, why are they so reluctant when they're going to lose him for 75 million euros next summer when his release clause kicks in, and if Chelsea offering 120, 130? Why can't we get that deal done now? With Erling Haaland and Jadon Sancho, they just about scraped Champions League football this season. Now, they've already lost Jadon Sancho, and if they lose Erling Haaland, essentially two of their best players, especially their two forwards, if they scrape top four this season and got that Champions League qualification, how are they going to get Champions League qualification for next season? And that revenue that they're going to miss out, and how much it's going to impact the club for the long term by not securing Champions League. Finances and revenue the Borussia Dortmund will receive from Champions League football by keeping Haaland in comparison to letting him go and getting some extra money on top. There is a massive gap. They will get more in revenue for Champions League football in comparison to selling Erling Haaland. It's disproportional. So therefore, the only way Chelsea secure Haaland is if we negotiate extremely well and we get a big deal. And it's going to take a crazy fee. We're talking 140, 150 million. We're talking in figures and values of 140, 150 million pounds, astronomical values, extortionate numbers, but this is what it takes if you want to secure a world-class generational talent like Erling Haaland. If we sign Erling Haaland, he will go down as the third most expensive player ever after Neymar and Mbappe, who both play for PSG respectively. So it's going to take big bucks. And if you look at our fullback options, Lukaku, he's already confirmed he's staying at Inter Milan. Harry Kane, he's almost impossible to get out of Tottenham Hotspur. You know, Anonizar Quintela and thegoal.com today confirmed Chelsea are still seriously in contention to sign him because they're really interested, but I don't see any way in which Daniel Levy sells Harry Kane to Chelsea. It's not going to happen. The relationship is not there. Spurs don't deal with Chelsea and vice versa. Just have a look at the Luka Modric saga back in 2011. He was almost confirmed to sign for Chelsea, but Levy stopped the deal last minute. Rudiger was supposed to go in the summer on a loan deal. It didn't happen. Giroud was supposed to go. It didn't happen. We don't deal with Tottenham Hotspur. If Daniel Levy sanctioned a move for Harry Kane to move directly to their North London arch rivals in Chelsea this summer, he would have to hand in his resignation because Tottenham fans would be waiting to cut his head off. And listen, this may sound harsh, it may sound brutal, but that is a reality. That's why Harry Kane is out of the book. Don't even fantasize about Harry Kane because that is not happening. Erling Haaland will bust, in my opinion. And if Chelsea want to get a world-class number 9, yeah, you have to pay up, and you have to pay up big. As I said, we've got a top negotiator in Rudiger and Skyer. We've got top people in the boardroom. It's going to take time. We have the finances. We're very privileged and we're very blessed to have finances in this pandemic. It's as simple as that. But that is the latest, and that is the massive news. Chelsea have officially agreed personal terms with Erling Haaland. That's part 1 done. Step 1 out of the way. Step 2 now is we have to negotiate that fee. And of course, any updates in regards to this, you will be hearing this on this channel. So hit that bell notification. Now moving on to some other news, and that is in regards to James Maddison, Hakim Ziyech. Now, according to reports and according to writer Chris Whitley, Chelsea want to sign James Maddison from Leicester City if they lose Hakim Ziyech this summer. This is massive news, and again, ex-West Ham employer has confirmed that Chelsea would actually be in fact open to selling Hakim Ziyech this summer. Now, again, is that really surprising to me? Not necessarily. Ziyech has had a very rough season. Of course, circumstances hasn't helped. The Eredivisie finishing early, so his fitness being in the gutter. You know, injuries at the start of the season, injuries during the season, playing in different positions, out of position in different systems he's not familiar to, acclimatising into the Premier League. It's not been easy. And I do sympathise with Hakim Ziyech because circumstances simply hasn't helped him, and he has a lot of technical ability. He's a good player. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be fitting into Thomas Tuchel's plan. So again, of course, Chelsea will be open to selling him, and we could still at least recuperate most, if not more, than what we paid for him, which will be interesting. Now, what I find interesting with this report is if we let Hakim Ziyech go, according to this report, Chelsea would be open to bringing in James Maddison from Leicester. Now, again, James Maddison is a top player. He didn't make the England national team. He didn't have the best of seasons. He has been quite inconsistent, but that is, again, due to injuries that he's sustained during the season. But he's a top quality footballer. Very, very young, 22, 23 years of age, homegrown, England international, Premier League proven, fantastic creative midfielder who can operate in the lines. You know, he's got an eye for a goal, fantastic at set pieces, amazing in terms of passing and passing range, defensive work rate. He's a top quality creative forward. And again, I would welcome a James Maddison at Chelsea. You could, of course, bring him off the bench or start him in certain games. And I think he'd be more suited and more adapted in a Thomas Tuchel system compared to Hakim Ziyech. Now, how reliable are these reports? That is the main question, and we don't know because there's only been a couple of reports. So before I delve, balls deep into James Maddison, I want to make sure that I see more reliable reports come out and say that yes, Chelsea are in fact interested in potentially acquiring James Maddison. So I'm going to hold my horses for a second, wait and see. But just briefly, in terms of what he offers to a team, and he is vital to that Leicester City team. So again, how much would he cost? In my opinion, I think he would cost around that £60 million mark. Again, a lot of money, but Leicester City are top negotiators. They pretty much squeezed £85 million for Harry Maguire. They got £35 million for Drinkwater, and they got around £45 to £50 million for Ventura. So Leicester City know how to negotiate. So it's not going to be cheap, of course. But what do you guys think? Do you want Maddison to come in and replace Hakim Ziyech, or do you think that we may as well keep Ziyech if we're going to sign Maddison? Are you not a fan of Maddison? What's your thoughts and opinions? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and I'll answer as many as I can. Now, moving on to the final story, and it is in regards to our fixture list. Now, today it was confirmed the Premier League released a fixture list for all the 20 Premier League clubs. So complete running from, of course, August until May. I'm not going to go run down all of it. If you guys want to check it out, it's all over social media. It's on Google. I'm going to run in the first opening 6 fixtures for Chelsea because that is a crunch crunch moment. It really is. And our first 6 games are Crystal Palace at home. We kick off the Premier League season at Stamford Bridge. Crystal Palace at home. We then go away to the Emirates, Arsenal away for match day 2. We then play Liverpool, Anfield away at match day 3. Match day 4, we've got Aston Villa at home, Spurs away match day 5, and then match day 6 we've got Manchester City at home. So we play Man City, Spurs, Liverpool and Arsenal in our opening 4 out of 6 games. An unbelievably difficult run in, and of course, listen, a lot of people are worried, they're fearful. However, remember this, let this sink in. Chelsea are European champions. We are kings of Europe. We can take these teams on. If anything, for me, I find this beneficial. If you've got such a tough run in this early on, it means that later on you've got easier fixtures where you can then start building some momentum. And if you are going to go for a title challenge, you've got some momentum to build. Getting these hard fixtures done early is good. Spurs away, Liverpool away, Arsenal away. 3 of the opening 6 is away at the top 6. So again, you're getting these tough, difficult games over the line very, very quickly. So I think this is a positive. There's pros and cons to having difficult games initially. So let's just wait and see. But that is me wrapping up the news daily. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.